their sales? Can I help increase the percentage of people who land on this page to actually decide to buy? Can I increase the percentage of people who read this email to actually decide to click? You're going to want to ask yourself these questions and identify opportunities based on your wide understanding of copywriting knowledge. Now, there's a few other indicators of monetization ability, how good they're doing. Number one, if they have a lot of testimonials or a lot of reviews, that usually means that people like the product and they are buying the product. That's an indicator that they are successfully monetizing. Another element is just how well the visual design and mobile experience is. If it's really, really good, that usually is reflective of a good product. If it's garbage, if it looks terrible on mobile, if it looks good on a website, but bad on a phone, or vice versa, then that's usually an indicator that the product itself isn't very good and people don't actually like it. Because if people liked it, more people would purchase, they'd have a little bit more money, and they could turn around and invest into making it look and feel a little bit better. And another thing, and this is kind of related to the first element, is do their customers gush about how much they love the product or service online? If you can find a business where the customers are raving in their reviews about how great it was for them, or they're telling their friends about it online, that's an amazing opportunity, because you know that the product is good. If the product is good, you can just help them get more attention or help even more people decide to try it out. There's a huge opportunity there. So if they're gushing about it online, that's a good indicator that they are successfully monetizing or are capable of successfully monetizing attention, and you want to probably partner with them. So those are some elements to keep in mind. Now, we've analyzed how they're getting attention. We've analyzed how they are monetizing attention. We've probably spotted some weaknesses. We know where they are on the graph. Now that we know their weaknesses, it's time to start generating and creating some genius solutions. So you have to understand, when you're coming up with a marketing idea to help a business, there's only two elements, or there are always two major elements. There's the actual machine. There's the actual thing that you're going to be bolting on. All of marketing, their whole marketing system is like a giant factory, a giant machine. And your job is to find out where the problems are, where the missing pieces are. So there's two elements to your idea. One of it is going to be the actual machine. Hey, you need Facebook ads, or hey, this particular part of your machine is broken, your sales page is broken, etc. You need to know what type or part of the funnel you're going to be creating. And then the other part of the idea is the actual copy on that page, the actual copy for that part of the funnel, the actual words and the messaging you use to persuade people. There's the two elements. What part of what marketing asset, what part of the marketing machine are you creating? And then the actual content that goes in there, so the experience itself is actually persuasive. There's two elements to that. You have to understand when you recommend something to a business, you have to know what those two elements are. Now, sometimes you'll be fixing in a broken part of the machine. Let's say they have Facebook ads, but their Facebook ads are all garbage and they're not working. You might show up and say, hey, the machine, this is a good idea. Using Facebook ads is a good idea. Let's fix the copy so it's actually really good. Or you might be bringing a completely new idea to them. Let's say they are good at getting attention, but they haven't got any attention. You might show up and say, hey, let's help you create TikTok ads. That's a completely new element to your marketing. And I'm going to help you make sure that the ads are as engaging and persuasive and interesting as possible, so that they actually persuade a lot of people to check out your business. Those are basically it. You're either going to be fixing the broken thing, or you're going to be adding something completely new. So once you've identified that, how do you actually come up with specific? So let's say you know what they're weak at. They're not good at getting attention, or they're not good at monetizing attention. How do we come up with actual ways for them to do these things? Now, what you shouldn't do is just say email newsletter. That's what a lot of you guys have done. You've practiced a lot of writing copy. You've practiced a lot of newsletters. And so you look at a business, you don't know what to help them with, and you just say email newsletter. We want you to not do that anymore. We want you to come up with really, really good ideas. But how do you actually figure out what they need to solve the problem? We know what the problem is. How do we decide or engineer the solution? Here's how you do it. There's a bunch of different ways. I really like this quote. It's originally from Pablo Picasso, and then Steve Jobs used it, and I quite like it. That's what this little grainy picture is. Steve Jobs with his team and the little pirate flag. But Pablo Picasso once said, good artists copy, great artists steal. And stealing means, it doesn't mean literally copying. It means going and figuring out what someone successful has done, or what someone interesting has done, and taking the principle at play and using that for yourself. So what you're going to do once you've identified their main problem is you're going to go look at the top players, the other competitors in that space. And you're going to look and see how, let's say that this business is having a hard time generating it or getting attention. You go look at the top players and see what methods they're using to get attention. How is this guy running his social media to get attention for his business? Oh, he's doing this. Can we steal that idea and take it to my business? Yes or no? Okay. You can do that. You can go look at actual top players inside of the market. You can also look at other markets. I like to do this quite a bit. Let's say you're let's say you're in the fitness niche, even though, it's got its problems. You could take a look at the fitness niche and you could say, okay, I could go analyze top players of the fitness niche, or I could go take a look at the relationship coaching niche and see if there's anything about how they run their systems over here to get attention or monetize attention that I can bring to solve this problem that this particular business in the fitness niche is having. You can steal ideas from other markets sometimes. This is kind of fun. You can also just look at the classic marketing answers. There are just classic ways to achieve certain things. There are classic funnels, classic forms of solving the problem that you can just use. You don't have to always come up with a completely creative solution, but you can just look at the proven method. What did Andrew say to do in the bootcamp? Oh, he said I could do this type of funnel. You can just go with a textbook answer, or you can try absolute divergent thinking. You can try and think outside of the box. This is usually extremely beneficial in the messaging side, not so much in picking what machine to use, but picking how to actually build that part of the machine, what messaging and persuasive elements you want to use. Try to think outside the box. Try to be completely different and test out those ideas. And then obviously apply convergent thinking in the future. But these are the main 4 ways that you can find an actual solution to that problem. Compare it to top players. What are the top players doing to solve this problem? The businesses that are at the mega success, what are they doing to get attention? What are they doing to monetize attention, and what can I steal from them? What about other businesses that are successful? What can I steal from them? What are the classic textbook answers? And then just try to be creative. And ultimately, your creativity matters a lot. When you're showing up to talk to the business and you're trying to present this, especially if it's cold outreach, your idea has to be good. It has to be connected to some of their actual biggest need. But it's got to be interesting. It's got to be creative. It's got to actually be new and interesting. So how creative can you be with this? How can you frame that idea that you have in the most creative and interesting and remarkable way possible? That's extremely important. And then after you've understood that, once you've framed it in a creative and interesting way, how can you then turn around and make sure that you back up that promise? Because you're making a promise. I think I can make you into a mega success with this system. And now once you've decided that, and it's time to actually show them with free value or on that sales call or in reality after you book them as a client, then you have to be effective. Are you willing to put in the time and effort to use the max copywriting skill possible to make sure that it actually works and delivers that? And that's essentially the formula, guys. That's how you go through this entire system. That's how you take any business, analyze them. Again, this is probably going to happen before a sales call. This is probably going to happen when you're doing your cold outreach or during your warm outreach process. You will do this analysis. Obviously, it's best to do this before you get on a sales call and go through the spin questions. You still need to do those questions. But this is how you can sit down, analyze a business, and know pretty much what they need and how to help them. So we're going to open it up to questions now. We've gone through the whole thing. We've done the rant. Now let's go through and answer your questions. I'm just going to go through the order of people who have raised their hands. We go through those and answer as many of them as we can. Agiris Mania, what do you got, dude? What's your question?
Hello, Professor. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is that right now I'm looking at SEMrush stats in SimilarWeb, and
the
stats are totally different. For example, in one, it's my client's website. I see 10K traffic, and in the other, I see 82.
I don't know what specifically you're looking at. What are you looking at? You're looking at SimilarWeb, and then what else are you looking at? Just different categories inside of SimilarWeb?
I'm looking at the total visits.
Can you say that again?
The total visits, the traffic they're getting to their website.
Okay. What's your question? You see 2 different numbers in different places?
Yes, that's my problem. And I had that problem.
So you're looking you're looking at total visits in one place. Where's the other number that you're looking at? You're looking at you saying you have 2 different numbers. You're only telling me one place that you're looking. Where are you seeing the 2 different numbers? You see one in total visits, but where do you see the other number?
All right, I'm in SEMrush and SimilarWeb, all right?
Oh, they're different numbers?
Website.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you have to understand that these tools aren't 1,000% accurate. It's not like SEMrush or SimilarWeb literally have a tracking code on that website. They're using publicly available analytics data to estimate as close as they can the number. It's not going to give you the exact number. It's going to give you a general number. So just use it as something that informs your decision, but don't think it's absolutely gospel. Don't email the business owner and say, hey, I see you're getting 80,000 visits to your page. Because he might not. It's just it's one indicator. It's not the gospel of truth. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Quad, M7MD Quad. What do you got, dude?
Hey Andrew, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Now I want to ask, let's say for example that I want to show to a mega success business. Can I all like do I have always to show to businesses that are bad at catching attention or monetizing attention or like kind of good or both? Or can I like show to the businesses that have mega success?
I don't understand your question. You're saying, can I,
Like
can you
let's
restate
say
your
for
question?
example,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, let's say for example that there's a business like crushing it, okay?
Okay, yeah.
I like let's say I analyze their work and everything. I notice that there's a thing that I can improve.
Okay, you're
Can I
asking if you
like
should
show
reach
up?
out to a mega success business, a business that's already
Yeah,
crushing it both?
yeah,
No, it's a bad move for you at the very beginning. Listen, so when someone is at the top of mega success, and I mean mega success, not just like kind of good at both, but they're actually really, really crushing it both, they have access to extremely successful labor pools and they're not really feeling any pain, right? They're not actually feeling much pain. They'd like to improve their business, but they've probably reached comfort zone, right? So you're reaching out
right.
to them you're reaching out to someone who's not going to be in pain. Chances are they're going to have a team in place to be harder for you to get to them. Also, do you have a client? Yes. Have you already created massive results for major businesses at this stage
Uh,
in your life?
I'm asking this question like
I'm
after I
asking. I'm
created.
asking you right now. Like,
Right
have
now, no,
you at this stage? Have you helped a major business achieve massive results?
no,
Then
no.
they wouldn't even pay attention to you. They have no
Yeah,
desire to pay attention to you. So if you're a young copywriter that's never landed a client, and you see Nike doing some amazing stuff, and you're like, oh, I have a cool idea to help Nike, they're never going to listen to you. At that stage, it's all networking and who you know, and the credibility you have is what earns you a seat at the table. And you don't have that yet. So if you're looking at a mega successful business as a young copywriter, no, I don't recommend you help them. I recommend you look at one of the other three types that we talked about. Either someone that's already good at getting attention but not good at monetizing it, someone who's good at getting it, monetizing attention but not good at getting it, so a loser, someone who's brand new, not good at either, or someone who's just kind of good at both, but not super good at both. Does that make sense?
yeah. Like let's say for example, landed a client and I have credibility at
Dude,
that stage.
that's not the
Yeah.
reality, though. Let's not talk about your reality. Let's not talk about some imaginary future land where you have
Okay.
success. Like I said, it's a networking game. You're going to network your way into that. I have advanced methods for the guys who are in the experience section for how to get in with some of the bigger and better businesses that are closer towards mega success already. I have methods for how to do that. But right now, dude, you're dreaming about some future that doesn't exist. You need to focus on solving your current problem, which is you need to find a business that's at your level, that matches your current level of credibility or lack thereof, and partner with them, get them mega success, solve that problem first, and then worry about how to reach out to some future magical opportunity in fairy maybe land. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Ryan, what do you got, dude?
Yeah, how are you, Prof?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of clarify. When you talked about affiliate marketing, say I was reaching out to a business that did affiliate marketing, right? So that means that they're constantly investing in wanting to get more attention, right? So would the pain be to monetize that attention?
Wait, so you're
Because they're
saying
already
if
focusing on affiliate marketing?
you want to reach out to someone who is an affiliate marketer for another business? Their business is affiliate marketing?
No, like the business has affiliate marketers.
So you're saying if you see someone who
They're
has
paying you
affiliate
to monetize
marketing
that?
and the affiliate marketing is crushing it, how do you help them? Yeah, if you're going to talk to somebody who has that type of a network, you'd want to help them either, yeah, assuming that the affiliate marketing is good and it's getting them enough attention. Their primary pain is probably, how do I make sure that the attention I get from my affiliate marketing people converts at a higher level? Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Again, once someone has attention, they have a huge source of attention. Their focus changes from how do I get more attention to how do I monetize this attention? Because that's where they're going to get the greatest increase in success, is by pulling that lever. Okay, I'm already up here. Like I've got attention. How do I move myself over towards mega success? How do I drag myself this way and monetize it? So yeah, you look, and if they're really strong in one, chances are they don't feel pain there. You want to reach out to businesses where they feel pain. And if they've already got a lot of attention, they don't feel a lot of pain around getting attention. They're more likely to feel their pain around the actual monetization side of it. Yeah.
Okay. So just if you have some extra time, so if someone were to do Facebook ads, for example, like they're already investing in trying to get more attention, or I guess, or trying to get more attention of others. So that means I would help them monetize it, right?
Possibly. You'd have to look and see if there's a problem
Okay.
over there. You have to make sure the
Okay.
ads they're running look effective or are have been running for some time. If they're just starting it out and their ads are garbage, then you might need to help them with their ads. You just have to analyze and see what is actually happening there. But yeah, that's essentially
Right.
it. If they're really good at this, don't try and help them with that. They're already good at it and they don't feel any
Yeah.
pain there. Go help them with the thing they're struggling with, because that's probably what the business owner is sitting there at night trying to fall asleep, but he can't because he's worried about improving his business. He's probably thinking, how do I, okay, I'm getting so much attention, but my page is only converting at 3%. How do I get it converted at 10%? How do I do it? How do I do it? Right? That's what he's thinking about. And if you show up and say, hey, man, I noticed you're getting a lot of attention with your Facebook ads. I noticed a thing on your page that you can tweak and you can probably move it to 15, 20% conversion rate. Let's test it. Like, I have an idea. You mind if I send it over? Now you're going to show up and you're entering the conversation they had. But if you're like, hey, dude, I have some idea for some new Facebook ads you could run. He's like, yeah, I already have enough traffic.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to solve this, right? Even worse, hey, dude, I've got an email newsletter for you. No, dude, like you gotta find what his pain is, right? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that clarified everything. Yeah.
Yeah, good question, dude. All right, Mr. User, what do you have?
Good evening, Andrew. I have two questions. I have a question in regards to one of the slides when you're talking about helping them go up the value ladder. But this goes for the local businesses. For instance, so you have local businesses like saloons, tattoo artists. Like obviously they could teach a course, but do you think that would be something that they would be open to? Secondly, my second question was, in terms of doing the warm outreach, obviously I've done that. It's helped me.
Let's do one question at a time. Let's do one question at a time.
All right.
So
okay.
Your first question is for local businesses. If you're looking at their value ladder, like, yeah, you'd be like, hey, dude, launch a course or whatever. Not really. That's typically not going to match them, at least not initially. They're going to tap into leverage by eventually hiring someone to come in and work under them and perform the work, or they're going to start moving towards one-to-many activities instead of one-to-one activities, right? And this is good. I'm glad we're doing this because I can probably add in, so I could probably a whole special slide here on how to help local businesses because it's a little bit different. What you would be looking for primarily with the local businesses, how well do they show up? When someone searches for this particular need in this area, how high do they show up on the search rankings? Do they show up with good reviews? What does their Google profile look like, et cetera, et cetera? How good is their social media? Do they have engagement? Do they have local following, et cetera? Like there's a bunch of different ways that they get attention. And when it comes to monetizing attention, they usually need a couple of things. They need an initial onboarding experience. They need like that first, like going to the chiropractor, they need that first adjustment. They need that first, they need to dip their toe into working with that local business, right? Tattoo artist is a little difficult because you don't get like a starter tattoo and then like a big tattoo, right? You go all the way, right? But they need to have some sort of initial experience, some sort of intro deal for a new person. And then usually they want to get repeat business. How do you make them into a repeat customer? And they'll be buying the same product on repeat, right? You basically become a member of a local business, right? You become one of the repeat customers. So how do I do that? How do I get them to buy the same thing over and over again? And then you're going to ask yourself, what higher ticket services could that person provide? What ancillary products? So if it's for example, a barber, a lot of barbers become the guy that sells the shampoo or the hair product or this stuff to their people. What other products can I sell to my people to increase their lifetime value? Yeah, they don't need to think, okay, I need to create a video course for my people. Like that's you're thinking inside of a box too much. You need to look at what people are already doing that are successful, and you need to think, what could they do to help their current person buy more and spend more money with that business? There's a lot of different ways to do that, and basically you just have to analyze it yourself. Does that clear it up for you though?
Yeah, makes sense. So my second question was in regards to the warm outreach. Obviously, that's helped me land a client, and I've been able to speak to other people as well. But also was thinking to myself, do you think it would be a good idea, because most of us live in places whereby there are local businesses, to just turn up to a local business, tell them, I can do X and Y, Z for you. Obviously, after analyzing what you can add on to their business. Do you think that would be a good idea?
Maybe you could. I mean, it's okay. You can do it, but I will give you this piece of feedback, and this is kind of it's not really related to what we're currently doing right now. Once you land that first business that says, yes, come work for me and help me build my business, you should basically stop outreach. You should basically stop worrying about getting a whole bunch of new clients. You need to get that person amazing results. You need to make sure that the thing that you create is effective. So that means you're going to be spending all your time writing that copy, analyzing their target market, analyzing top players, testing it, tweaking it, making sure they get results. That's your biggest thing you should focus on. You shouldn't really try and go get a bunch of other clients. Once you've got one, maybe two people who are interested in working with you, at that point, you just hyper focus on getting them results, because that's your current biggest limitation. Is that it's not that you can't get someone to decide to work with you at that level. You're stuck at that level because you don't have the credibility it takes to play at the next level. So once you're there, just worry about getting the next guy. Yeah, you could show up to a local business in person and do this. Yes, that's one version of local direct sales that you could do. But that's really not, it's usually not needed if you make sure that you work with someone from your warm outreach, get them amazing results. You can usually sort of skip that process of having to go door by door and talk to business owners. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good stuff. All right, Mr. Alan Garza, what do you got, dude?
Yeah, so I want to preface this by saying that I will use my brain. I just want to see if you had a specific answer.
Yeah.
But we obviously looked at a lot of things. It was a long process. We looked at different players, came up with new ideas, big ideas, new ideas.
Yeah.
When it comes to watering it down in outreach, especially cold, warm is obviously a lot easier. But something that I've struggled with is that sometimes I'll get a little excited and say, hey, I looked at this and this and this and this, and they get overwhelmed with information. But then I downplay too much, and then they don't see the importance of it. So I wanted to see if you had any specific advice on presenting the idea in the most digestible manner.
So this I do, and there's other trainings on that. We're actually going to skip that question because it's not really about analyzing this. I have a whole bunch of training about teasing versus explaining. Essentially, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tease the idea. You don't want to explain it or go into too much detail. You want to keep it pretty short, 1 to 2 lines, tease what's happened, use some copywriting mystery to add some interest or intrigue to it, and then show them how it looks. Like actually show them the free value, show them the examples from someone else. Show rather than tell. So in the words tease, but then the actual free value that you create for them, that's when you actually show them what it looks like. And you might show all of it. You might show 37% and tease the rest of it when you're actual showing. It depends on the funnel or the idea that you're reaching out to, but I'm not going to go into extreme depth here. Just tease and then actually show them how to apply the stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right, Yassine, what do you got?
Hey, how's it going, Andrew?
Going well.
So I have like 2 questions. So the first one is when we do top player analysis, sometime I'll get, so like I was in the divorce recovery niche, and I was seeing most of the top players on Google, which was organizations, and I was just seeing like if we were doing top player analysis, should we analyze on the organizations? Because
So
I
you're
also use
saying-
Bard. Yeah, because I also use Bard, and I asked him what are the top players in this market, and he also came with the same organization I saw on Google.
So you're saying, hey, I'm trying to analyze how people are getting attention in this market. And I realized that when I do the search that a normal avatar would do, a normal person at target market, the first thing that shows up is this organization of different people, right?
So yeah, so like mostly I'll even put some like basic search terms in that niche, like how to save your marriage. And I'll either see like sponsors of people like a divorce coach, but when I go to their social media, I'll see like 9K followers or 10K followers. But besides that, when I see like the actual top players that are not sponsoring, it would be like sometime organizations.
What I'm confused what your question is. Can you succinctly tell me what your question is?
It's like because like I'm seeing a bunch of organizations. Do we do analysis on those people as well?
So you're searching how to fix your business, and an organization is coming up. What type of organization is coming up?
Like just organization to like help recovery coach, like